Shalom, everybody. Here, Daniel. Once again, One Love Caravan. I have a very important message because of the status quo. Now, let's say the status quo that we're in with the whole revolution going on in Africa. Finally, Africa uniting. The whole mission, that we have here is this, the Africa unite, Africa must unite because Africa is the origin of humanity, right? And in these times we have to go back to Africa, and we have to unite Africa. Okay, so very good that we now have movements like it's going on with the Sahel states, what is going on all over Africa, the people supporting this Pan-African ideology. Okay, so very good. So what this is all about, it is actually to have the united states of Africa, right? Like you would have the United States of America, you would have the United States of Africa, right? So with one, it's no borders, one passport, if needed, or one document, for everyone, and one money system, one money system, and also should have every production, like everything of factories, every factory, like for every product, for every machine, everything should be made in Africa, And again, the idea was to, this started with, let's say, with Marcus Garvey, that with the Black Star liners, the idea to bring back the African people who got carried away as slaves, to bring them back to Africa, because this diaspora, is very big. They talk about 2 billion people, okay. So our priority, like my priority, because I grew up in Switzerland, I'm not from this diaspora, but I know that the injustice is very big because of countries like Switzerland. Again, I grew up there. There's just the Switzerland it's just racist. It is just supremacist, and it's a lie. There is no such thing as Confederation Helvetica. This is the name, the official name of Switzerland is Confederation Helvetica. And this Helvetia, is not existing. It's an invention. It's not real, right? Helveti, it was a tribe. This was Celtic tribes there in the area around Switzerland that they would call Helveti. But the Helvetia, this lady, this witch, it's an invention. So the whole thing is a scheme. It's built by the Knights Templars. Again, it's the Knights Templars. It's the ones who invented this whole money system, which is, it is a scheme, right? It is against Africa and Africans, and against Ethiopia and the Ethiopian Empire. So I'm not against empire, because actually we are building the empire. It's the Ethiopian Empire. So, everybody talking about against the imperialists, but we have also the empire. Anyhow, what happened is that the priority of this, the whole Pan-African idea, again, is to unite Africa, no borders, one unity, and to bring back the African. That's why Marcus Garvey, for example, he had meetings with the Ku Klux Klan, and why? Because listen now, if these people are racist, yeah, like Donald Trump, these people are racist. So, like again, like in Switzerland, like in whole Europe, huh? Like in even this Ku Klux Klan, I showed you in previous videos. This is coming here from South Spain, from Andalusia. This has to do with the Semana Santa. This has to do with the Reconquista. This has to do with the Inquisition. And this is this with these hats, you know, and these guys are racist. These are white supremacists, and this is the origin of the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, and these people are the people. Behind that is the Jesuits. Again, behind that is the Vatican, and yeah, they have schemes to they colonized. They are the colonizers. So that's why the richness of people like Donald Trump, for example, it's coming from colonization, right? And it's coming from the Ku Klux Klan and all this. So these black people in America be treated bad. Black people all over the world treated bad. So even in Africa, like in South Africa, yeah, like in Angola, like even in Africa, in black Africa, the white people, they have more rights, or what? They're treated better. I know that because I've been to Africa, and and I got treated like a king, but I didn't do anything. In fact, I just came there and they treat you so good. The other way around, if black people come to Europe, they get treated like the worst. The worst. 1 year in Ceuta, check out our videos. Right? It's for real. So the hypocrisy is giant. So now I know that, the idea of bringing back the people, the diaspora, to Africa is the Black Star Liners. Yeah, Marcus Garvey never managed actually to do this. He died before. So we need to fulfill this whole thing because very important. Because what I know is, for example, that again, my wife from Angola. Okay, Angola was Portuguese colony, and there were many white people in Angola living. Okay, many, like 500 years, many white settlers, like in South Africa. This was in Angola the same. Okay. But it was not like a big apartheid, because they mixed a lot. Like, let's say there was the slaves and all this, yeah, and they, but it's more mixed. Again, there's these mulattas, yeah, like my wife. These people are mixed, yeah, and it's coming out of slave trade, out of, but it comes also out of, let's say, they would. They would breed, you know, they would make, that's why Angola, you know, they're known to have very beautiful women and the Miss World or Miss Universe and all this stuff, because they breed there. They breed to sell the people. That's true, it's sad. They sold everything, you know, from Angola, and they're still doing. They're exploiting Angola, like no one talking about Angola. Angola is a giant country and has all the resources and diamond, oil and gold and this and that, everything. Yes, but people there are suffering a lot and no one's talking about that because it's 100% controlled by the West. Yes, and again, so Angola now, until 1974, this was Portugal, and after that they made, again, the West, the system, they made war. 35 years they made war in Angola. Why? To depopulize the countryside and to put everyone into Luanda, yeah, the capital, and to take out the whites. Take out the whites and the mulattas. Why? Because, yeah, again, there were the landowners, yeah. So many white settlers, they lived in the interior, all over the land, and they had big farms, they had business, yeah, right. And they would live good. They would have actually the best life you can imagine. There, 500 years, yeah. And then suddenly, yeah, they come up with this thing that, oh, now now Angola's getting independent, now the blacks taking over. Like the same narrative like Trump is pushing, that there's genocide going on, yeah? You see? So in Angola it's the same thing. They said, wait, now the blacks, they're gonna kill the white people. And they also did, because they trained some people, like Jonas Savimbi, again, Jonas Savimbi, he get children, black children, as soldiers. He did very bad things to these children. He teach the black people of Angola to hate the white people, to kill them, and etc. And they did also things like that. So the white settlers there, they get very afraid. But this was the plan of Europe, to get them out, to bring them all to Portugal. And that's what happened. We call them the Retornados. And this is history. So we go to Portugal, you know, and everyone who knows Portugal knows that there are many white people there in Portugal. They're not from Portugal, they're from Angola, let's say, from Africa, from Mozambique, or from many places, all over. They grew up there. They born there, they grew up there, but suddenly they had to decide, you stay there and you get an Angolan passport, because now this is an independent country now, or you go back to where you originally come from, to Portugal. So you have to decide. So many people, 1974, from Cabo Verde, from Guinea-Bissau, yeah, but mostly from Angola, yeah, from Mozambique not so many, but from Angola, thousands and thousands, maybe even millions, yeah, of white and mulat mixed people. They came to Portugal as so-called retornados. That means the returned ones. They come back home. So what is that? It's like the white starliners they made, and they made quickly. They made this up quickly, and they managed to do this. Everyone came with a boat. Yeah. So if you go to Portugal and you just see many taxi drivers in Lisbon, for example, they have these tattoos. It's saying Amor da Mãe, and it's saying Angola and something. Like people, they were in the colonial wars, yeah. There is Portuguese people, they were there in Angola in the colonial war around this area. And then it's these white people from Angola, and who came then as retornados. And they came and they had then special treatment. Like, let's say, they could drive a car without license. The police would say nothing, but say, oh, they are refugees. Again, there's a genocide going on. They're killing the white people. They lost everything. They lost their family. I know many people, they seen horrible things. They seen their family being the head cut, and I know it's true. They did this. They killed white people. And but how this works? Again, it is this Jonas Savimbi and the movement of the Galo Negro, and it was a plan. It's made by these people, the Swiss and the Americans and the Portuguese, again the West, Babylon. They have no problems to kill their own people. Not at all. That's why I have no support from my family. Not at all. Not even no support. The other way around. They are against me. They're fighting against me because I am fighting for justice, and that the people in Africa can benefit from their richness. And if we can manage that, Europe is over and out. And it's good that they're over and out, because they cannot continue like this. Again, Switzerland, we have, again, and I will expose this more and more. I will explain you what it's all about. Glencore Xstrata, this is the biggest mining company in the world. It's in there where I grew up. I know them very well. And the thing is, Mark Rich called the boss, and the king of oil and all these things, very hardcore stuff. They're criminals, yeah. And many people in Switzerland, they protesting against this, but nothing happens. So it's up to the African people to organize themselves. And again, if the Portuguese, look how small Portugal is, look how big Angola is, yeah? And if they managed this in the 70s to get all the whites, take all the whites people out of Angola and bring them to Portugal with boats, without any passport, you didn't need anything. You just need to be white, come there to Luanda at the time and say, hey, the blacks are after me, and go into the boat and your new life. Or also airplane. Eh? But if you manage to go to Luanda, they would bring you for free. Eh? And they would even pay you things then after. So why Africa, the whole continent, it's not able now to bring back the whole black population who want to go back, you know, because they're treated bad there. Now they want to go back. How they gonna manage that? If not the Ethiopian World Federation, if not governments from Africa, you know, sending ships to bring the people back. And this could be easy because we have, again, we will show you this. We start to painting these solutions, yeah, like again these flying aircrafts, yeah, these aircrafts, and these aircrafts, they can also be used as a boat. If we will make the whole design. We will paint this nice, but this will be, you will see, they will be like hovercrafts, yeah. So it's with rubber and it's floating. It can float on water. It's a hovercraft with a zeppelin on top. Because in the end, look again, like I always show you this picture, because this picture is from, you see, it's from 1920, and this picture from 1920, and this was the Germans just to go around like a cruise ship, you know, to fly around the world like in a cruise ship. And these big cruise ships, they go around the world. And why we cannot manage or to bring back the black Africans who want to go back, who maybe in Brazil, in the Caribbeans, and they have maybe no papers and no money because they are discriminated and they're living in favelas, and you know, it's happening. And even in Europe, in Paris, in this banlieue, in Portugal, there is whole neighborhoods. It's just of black people. In the Cova da Moura, in da Maia, in Buraca da Maia, all these places, they even have African names. In Lisbon, there is whole settlements of black people, you know, like favelas, like, yeah, actually in Europe, there must be millions of black people who are discriminated, who have the lowest works, and they have no influence in society, in politics or nothing, you know, and it's very sad. So how come that, you know, yeah, that we still, like by myself, again, I should not have priority to go to Africa, you know. Priority should have the black people in America, you know, and they should now be brought to Africa by the millions. And this should be organized by the Ethiopian World Federation, and it should be organized by the countries, by the African countries, you know. So Angola should now bring the black people from Brazil, from Bahia, and from Jamaica, and this they should want to send boats there to bring these people back. As Angola has a coast, has a big coast, they could send boats to America and bring the black people back. You know, this should happen just right now. You know, but I don't think that the government of Angola is interesting in this, but maybe other governments like Namibia or other governments like, you know, Ghana here or whatever, because it's a simple thing to do. to send a boat, and that's it. And yeah, we will keep you updated, because there is some good solutions and there is also bad solutions, and we should choose the good ones and the sustainable ones, and the most yeah, most intelligent solutions. And if, again, it gives me headache if Portugal could manage this in the 70s, and nowadays no African country can manage that, you know. So so please release me from the headache and help me in this solution, okay, that we can have a more prosper vision of the future. So thank you very much for watching this. Share, like, and see you soon. Daniel, One Love Caravan, blessed love, Rastafari.